Howdy friends, and welcome to my channel. Today we are heading to an exciting destination in the great state of Colorado. I believe you're going to like this hidden gem of a campground nestled 7,500 feet high in the White River National Forest. Today we're heading to Bogan Flats Campground, located almost in the middle of the state of Colorado. It is southwest of Denver and is about 50 miles west of Aspen along Highway 133. You will turn off to the south on County Road number 3, heading toward the town of Marble. If you're coming from the east, it is about 71 miles east of Delta. Before I went to the campground, I actually took a drive into the town of Marble. You'll find some spectacular scenery along the way, along with the wildflowers that are in bloom, mountain meadows, and marble chunks all along the way. Almost everybody seems to have a marble mailbox holder of some type. It's a very beautiful area, and as you go into town, you will notice some of the huge chunks that they have removed from the mines in this area. An interesting fact is that about 50% of the marble used for erecting most of our monuments and buildings in Washington, D.C. came from the mines right here in Marble, Colorado. You can see that the marble is extremely white with not a lot of other colors in it, which makes it pretty stunning. Here's a view of a local shop and some of the sculptures they put on display. You see these displays all over town and even in the countryside. We're going to head north to the campground. There are not many maps of the Bogan Flats Campground, but here's a crude map I found. I've marked all 37 of the campsites. The ones in yellow are just so you can see them, and the ones in blue are either campsites that are noted on recreation.gov as accessible, or ones that I noted as being flat enough to be accessible by a wheelchair or walker. There are no sites with electrical in this campground, but water is available. Bathrooms are available as well. Both are noted on the map. The road is on one side of the campground and the Crystal River is on the other as you travel the beautiful road that goes down to the campground. The first campsites, like number 1 through 5, are up higher and are extremely steep. Here is campsite number 3 next to a beautiful clump of wildflowers. At campsite number 4, you can see there's no picnic tables up top by the parking pad, but is actually down closer to the river by that orange cooler. Campsite number 5 is the same way, so bring some strong legs. These sites would probably be best for tent camping. There is trash and bathrooms nearby. Here's a nice pull-through site. At number 6, you will notice the bear boxes at all of the campsites because you are pretty deep in the woods here. Site number 9 has a small driveway, but the site is huge and fairly flat. I think it could work out as accessible, but with the barriers and the fact that most campers open to the right, make this a better site for tents in my opinion. Campsite number 10 is on the uphill side of the campground and rather steep. Sites 11 and 12 are the same way, with picnic tables close on 11 and way in the back at site 12. You can see where the people have set up their tents and stuff. Campsite 13 is a very nice back-end campsite. It's on the creek side of the road. Site number 14 is across the road, but it is a rather small site. Site 15 is pretty intriguing as it has a very long driveway. And if you can maneuver through the rocks there, you can see the picnic table and the huge camping area. Because it goes down so far, you are right by the river. Kind of zoomed into this area so you can see that you can get in between the rocks down there. The campsite down there is flat, so I'm putting it on my accessible list. Site number 16 is similar to 15. Camp host turned me on to both of these sites. As you can see, it has a long driveway like number 15 and has a nice flat camping area down along the river. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my accessible list as well. Next, you come to the big loop in the middle. You can see that most of the campsites are flat, but they're a little bit closer together, and there's not many trees or privacy. I think this area is better suited for your bigger RVs. Coming up on the right, you'll see a white camper. That's site number 23, and it is right by the river and would be accessible. However, the campsite is pretty small. The fire pit is right next to the picnic table, and depending on the size of your camper, you might have quite a bit of room or just barely enough. The next campsite, which is designated as wheelchair accessible and is my personal favorite, is site number 24. It's a pull-through and has large willows all around it, so you've got a lot of privacy. You've got a picnic table that has the extra extension on the end for a wheelchair user to get under. The river is just feet away, so you can enjoy it as you sit and drink your morning coffee or sit by the campfire at night. Site number 25 is similar to 24, but it doesn't have the privacy of all the tall willows around it. A closer look shows it is bigger than 24, definitely flat and accessible, and right by the river. Across from site 25 is site number 28. It is one of the designated accessible campsites, but is kind of small and out in the open. Probably a good site for a tent. You can see the accessible picnic table. Site 29 is a pull-through, kind of out in the open. It would be accessible. Site number 30 is a back-end. It's flat, accessible, but kind of in the open. Site number 31 is a pull-through. It's flat and accessible, but kind of out in the open. Well, I hope these campsite images will help you. There's some pictures of campsites on recreation.gov, so go there to make your reservation. This is a very popular campground because it is secluded, quiet, and right by the river. If you are in this area or traveling through Aspen, I strongly suggest visiting Maroon Bells, which is the most photographed mountain area in the U.S. A little tip if you are in a vehicle with your handicap plate or placard. You don't have to take the shuttles at Maroon Bells. Just drive to the ranger station entrance, show them your ID and possibly your golden access pass, and you get to drive your own personal vehicle right up to the lake area. It is worth the side trip if you've never experienced the beauty there. Be sure to take a second and like this video and check out the campground worksheet in the description. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, so long.